is a conspiracy. I am being framed.
The truth is out, Karen. $18,000 missing.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
You wouldn't believe the day I had that Tuesday morning, sitting in my home office with a fresh cup of joe, fiddling with a website layout for this picky client, when the doorbell starts buzzing like someone's trying to summon the apocalypse. Buzz, 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 no pause, just pure aggression, and there stands Karen Fletcher, our HOA queen bee, clipboard in hand, looking like she's about to declare martial law on my front porch. I crack the door, still in my sweatpants, and before I can even mutter a hello, she's barking about how my window blinds are throwing off the whole vibe of Oakwood Meadows, claiming they're off-shade ecru, instead of the sacred beige whisper, or whatever nonsense she's cooked up, and demanding to come inside right then to verify compliance, with her tape measure and color swatches. I tell her no, polite but firm, because who in their right mind lets a neighbor barge into their house over blinds that have been up for years without a peep from anyone else? And that's when her face twists. She whips out her phone, dials 911 like it's her personal concierge service, screaming that I'm hostile, possibly armed, and a threat to the community, having no clue that the voice on the other end is my wife Sarah, who's been dispatching emergencies for 8 years and knows a real crisis. From a control freak's tantrum. Man, let me back up a bit, because this didn't come out of nowhere. Oakwood Meadows is this tidy little suburb outside Seattle, where the houses match like puzzle pieces, and the HOA keeps things neat, or at least that's the idea. But ever since Karen took over as president after her messy divorce last year, it's like she's on a mission to micromanage everyone's life to fill the void in her own. I'd heard whispers from neighbors how she'd nitpick lawns down to the blade, find people for bird feeders that attracted unsanctioned wildlife, all while driving around in that shiny new SUV she somehow afforded on no visible income. And deep down, I think it ate at her seeing folks like me and Sarah, with our stable setup, me freelancing from home as a web designer, her handling high-stakes calls at the dispatch center, just living quietly without drama. That morning, as I peered through the peephole at her standing there in her outdated pantsuit, paint chips fanned out like a poker hand, I felt this pit in my stomach, like, here we go, another power play from someone who's lost control of her own world and needs to lord it over ours. She launches right in. Mr. Thompson, reports indicate your blinds violate our aesthetic unity clause, and I require interior access to assess light diffusion and tonal harmony. Her voice all clipped and official, like she's reading from a bad spy novel. I stand there, coffee cooling in my mug, trying to wrap my head around it. Blinds? Really? And I say, Karen, these have been up since we moved in, no one's complained, and honestly, I'm not comfortable letting you in without some real paperwork showing you have the right. Her eyes narrow, that fake smile drops, and she snaps back. Noncompliance initiates penalty procedures, Mr. Thompson. I am empowered to protect property values and community safety, fumbling her clipboard in the process, papers fluttering down like confetti, and as I bend to help pick them up because hey, I'm not a jerk, I spot they're mostly generic forms, nothing official, which makes me wonder if this whole gig is just her way of feeling important after her ex took the house and left her renting that cramped place on Maple Lane. She snatches them back, mutters about documenting resistance, snaps a few pics of my windows from the sidewalk, and storms off with a warning that I'd get a formal citation by 5 that afternoon or face emergency measures. Yeah, that vague threat hanging in the air like a storm cloud. Across the street, my neighbor Bill Ramirez ambles over, shaking his head with that knowing grin's a retired mechanic. Been here forever, knows all the dirt, and he goes, Mike, she's been off the rails since the split, lost her job at the insurance firm too, now the HOA's her kingdom. But tell me, how's an unemployed lady swing a 40 grand Lexus? Paid cash, I heard. It clicks then, maybe she's dipping into something shady, using her position to squeeze fines or whatever, and I feel this mix of pity and annoyance. Pity, because life's kicked her around. Annoyance, because why drag the rest of us into her mess? I call Sarah right away. She's mid-shift but picks up, and I spill it all. Babe, the HOA lady's demanding to inspect our blinds, says they're the wrong shade or something ridiculous. There's a pause, then she says, calm as ever, did she show any actual authority for entering the house? When I say no, her tone shifts just a touch firmer, the way she gets when spotting BS calls at work. Mike, take notes on everything, photos too, and if she pushes it, Trust me, I've got this handled. I ask what she means, and she just chuckles softly. Let's say if it hits 911, that conversation's gonna go exactly how it should be, dealt with worse than curtain cops. By 2 that afternoon, Karen's back, pounding on the door like she's evicting squatters, thrusting this official notice at me printed on cheap paper. Font all goofy, like it came from a kid's computer program, demanding a $250 fine, plus $50 a day until I comply. Complete with a laminated badge that screams dollar store special. HOA enforcer. She's all puffed up. Mr. Thompson, this is your final warning. Failure invites intervention. And I just shake my head, feeling that inner resolve kick in, the one that says enough's enough when someone's trampling boundaries for no good reason. Karen, the answer's nor homes are space, and blinds aren't hurting anyone. I tell her, keeping it even, but inside I'm thinking about how this ties back to her own losses. Maybe she's projecting, seeing our peaceful setup as a slap in the face to her chaos. That's when her face flushes red. She yanks out her phone again. Fine, then I'm calling the authorities right now. And dials 911, pacing my driveway like a general calling airstrikes, yelling into the receiver loud enough for the whole block to hear. Emergency. I need units immediately. This man's aggressive, refusing lawful entry. He could be armed. Send backup. From inside, peeking through those offending blinds, I text Sarah. She's actually doing it, calling 911 over shades. Her reply pings back. I know. I'm on the line. Stay cool. Record if you can. My heart skips. Sarah is the dispatcher? Of all the shifts, all the calls, it's her voice on the other end, steady and trained, handling Karen's meltdown like a pro. Karen's going full drama. He's threatening, crossed his arms menacingly, drinking something suspicious, could be booze. It's 10 in the morning, folks, and it's black coffee with a splash of milk, and Sarah's logging it all, asking those pinpoint questions. Ma'am, describe the threat precisely. Have you seen weapons? Karen hesitates, then doubles down. Well, no, but he's unhinged, blocking official business. Who knows what he's hiding? I can almost hear Sarah's internal eye roll as she notes. Caller admits no weapons observed. Claims subject unhinged for denying home access. Karen accidentally hits speaker, her voice echoing. Everyone hear this? He's a danger, and I'm just standing there, mug in hand, thinking, lady, if coffee's a weapon, we're all doomed. Sarah plays at textbook probes that give Karen rope to hang herself with. Every exaggeration documented. Flagged as potential false report because Sarah's seen real emergencies, heart attacks, break-ins, the stuff that keeps you up at night. And this is ego on steroids. Karen demands tactical teams, supervisors, full response, thinking she's winning, vibrating with that false victory high. But Sarah's already alerting units with the real context. And as those sirens whine closer, 2 cruisers pulling up with lights flashing, I text Sarah, they're here. She shoots back. Showtime, just truth it out. Nervous? Yeah. A bit. Cop cars at your door never feel casual, but knowing Sarah's got the record straight, I step out composed. Karen rushes the officers like they're her cavalry, clipboard waving. Officers, thank goodness this man's obstructed my inspection, threatened me. Armed possibly. The lead cop, this no-nonsense guy with a mustache that screams veteran, glances at her. Then Miss Sweets, coffee, 0 menace and back. Ma'am, report said armed threat. Where's the danger? She points dramatically him. He refused entry, crossed arms aggressively. I am HOA president. This is safety protocol. I approach, hands visible. Officer, Mike Thompson, homeowner. She wanted in to check my blinds color. I said no. That's it. He reads her goofy citation, stifles a grin. Blinds inspection? Karen stammers. Well, no weapons seen, but he was menacing with that drink. The cop deadpans to me. Sir, is your latte loaded? I can't help it. Extra foam, officer, deadly stuff. Even his partner chuckles. Then the radio crackles. Sarah's voice, clear. Unit 14, confirm allegations? He reports back. No threat. HOA dispute over window shades. Sarah, copy shade dispute logged. Karen freezes, muttering, that voice. Familiar. Bill wanders over with his phone. Officers, got video. She's been harassing folks for months. Fine me $100 for doormat texture violation. Here's the footage. Neighbors trickle out, adding stories. She charged me for gnome height. Bird bath angle. The cop's face hardens, turns to Karen. False 911 calls are criminal. You wasted resources on coffee threats. Her triumph crumbles to panic. But I felt endangered. He warns, next time, charges. And as they drive off, Karen's on her phone, whispering urgently, something's off that dispatcher. They're connected. That night, the paranoia hits Karen hard. She obsesses over Sarah's voice, convinced it's a setup, calls her brother-in-law, this wannabe lawyer type named Ted. Investigate that dispatcher biased from the start. Ted digs public records, department lists and calls her back, voice shaky. Karen, sit down. The dispatcher's Sarah Thompson, Mike's wife, same address. The phone drops. Karen's world spinched lied to the wife about her husband being dangerous, demanded arrests on a family member. Shock flips to fury. Conspiracy. She twisted it all. Ted tries reasoning. You called over blinds, exaggerated everything. But Karen's spiraling. No. They planned this. She knew I'd call. Deep down, maybe it's her guilt surfacing, mixed with jealousy over Sarah's poise. Her job wielding real power while Karen clings to HOA scraps after her life imploded. Lost job. Ex's betrayal. Scraping by on fines she skimmed. She files complaints everywhere. Internal affairs. City Hall accusing Sarah of abuse. Used her role to shield her criminal husband from valid enforcement. But reviews show Sarah aced it. Protocols followed. Lies documented pristinely. Instead, Sarah gets praised. Exemplary handling of false report. Karen posts online, dispatcher corruption exposed, but neighbors clap back. You lied on that call. Embezzled our dues. Bill had been sleuthing 2 bank statements showing $18,000 siphoned to Fletcher Services, her shell company. At the emergency HOA meet, Karen struts in with her evidence binder. Fellow residents witnessed the plot against Met. His dispatcher manipulated everything to undermine our standards. She plays the radio clip. Hear her mocking tone? But Bill stands. Karen, let's talk real corruption. $18,000 missing, funneled to you. Gasps ripple. She blanches. Administrative fees, I earned it. Enforcing rules you all ignore. Hands raise. Fine for flower pot size. Porch light wattage. Total fake fines. $7,000 pocketed. Karen shrieks. You're brainwashed by them. But the vote's unanimous. Out as president. Charges filed. Desperate, she sues us for $40,000. Defamation, conspiracy, claiming Sarah rigged the system. Bill rallies a defense fund. $15,000 raised quick. Neighbors sharing horror tales. The widow who paid to avoid fights. The family nearly driven out. Discovery exposes more. Karen's finances in ruins post-divorce. HOA cash funding her facade. That SUV a desperate grasp at status. Her lawyer bails. Case crumbles. Court day. Karen reps herself, files a wild motion. All fabricated by the dispatcher's web of influence. But it backfires. Admits knowing Sarah's identity, proving malice. Prosecutor shows intent to harm. Judge, Miss Fletcher, when everyone's against you, maybe look inward. Sentencing, she rants. Frame job. They orchestrated it. No remorse. Bam. 15 months jail, probation, $30,000 restitution, lifetime HOA ban. She's hauled out screaming, corruption everywhere. News goes viral. HOA tyrant toppled by her own lies. Karen serves 10 months. Emerges to a wrecked life record. Blocks jobs. Housing. She flees states away, but online trails follow. New neighbors Google, warn each other. Oakwood thrives under Bill. Real fixes, no nitpicks. Annual Shade Liberty Fest, with wild window displays. Cookies shaped like blinds. Sarah's promoted. Her call a training gold standard. Audrey's attack boosted her. Me? I hung neon blinds. A reminder, stand firm, truth wins. But here's the thing that lingers. Was Karen just a bully? Or a broken soul lashing out? And does that excuse the harm? Could the system have caught her sooner, spared the drama? Drop your thoughts below. What's your HOA nightmare? Was justice served, or too harsh? Share, like, subscribe. Let's talk community power gone wrong.